Well, hello. There you go. It's all you, man. Take this away.
All right, we want to apologize right off the bat for any sort of delay this evening. We had a couple of hang-ups, mostly my fault, but we're going to get through that now. We're going to start our show. Tonight we are talking about the Spring 17 release here on System.Debug. I still love it. I'm not going to lie. All right. So tonight, for those of you who are paying attention, have paid attention in the past, we have a new guest host with us. This is James Chen, and he is joining us in the Atlanta office just to share with us as we talk about the Spring 17 release. James Chen is a 5-time certified Salesforce developer working for Map Anything. He started on the platform 7-8 months ago, right? Self-taught?
I think 8 or 9 months now.
Okay, fantastic. And where'd you graduate?
Whoa. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I have a question queued up already. Go ahead. That's good.
Okay. I graduated from University of Georgia, 2016.
Okay.
What's your question, Ryan?
8 to 9 months on the platform. 5 times certified. I have to admit, I feel like I'm quite the underachiever with my whopping Dev 401 that's retiring in July.
You can join that club, man.
I think it's easier to transition from a student and then get certified because I retain the studying techniques and everything. So it's definitely more difficult when
you're old like me. You can say it.
Ouch,
bro.
Yeah,
Other
old
things
man.
to do. Basically.
Yeah, I mean, I'm studying for some as well, and it's not. I mean, I clearly have not improved since my college days when it comes to study habits, but I'm working on it. So, all right, sorry. Go ahead.
All right, so
all you, Brian, take it away.
We are actually going to jump right into our events. Ryan,
Yes,
Ryan,
sir.
I got something for you.
What do you got for me?
I got another present for you, Ryan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about our first event.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, we're all waiting.
We're all waiting. I'm
We're all
waiting.
waiting.
Desperately.
Is this like last week's surprise or last episode surprise?
It might be. Let's talk about Southeast Dreamin. Let's
Let's.
talk about, before we jump into full on about Southeast Dreamin, I want to let everybody know that hasn't found out about it yet. There's going to be a hackathon with some really wicked prizes at Southeast Dreamin this year. Okay, but in order to register for the hackathon, you need to register your team leader and your team when you register for Southeast Dreamin. Isn't that right, Kristi?
I will disagree with whatever you just said.
No,
Ryan,
wait.
surprised.
Time out. I thought we were supposed to be surprising Brian.
So he ruined it because
Yeah, he ruined it.
What do you mean?
He ruined it.
because I was already going to plan to surprise you, and then you invited me because you're nice.
No,
Yeah.
because this is my
Oh.
surprise.
No, we already knew.
We already
knew, and this was going to be a surprise to surprise you. But she repurposed the surprise
You can't.
to you to tell you that it would be a surprise to us. I'm assuming. Chrissy's pitting surprise against surprise. She
I'm a ninja.
re-surprised. Yeah,
Surprise ninja.
yeah.
I was like, oh, you ruined it. And then I was like, do I tell him no and then show up anyway? No.
Oh.
Yeah, you're not a re-gifter, but you're a re-surpriser for sure.
Hi, guys.
Well,
Got my-
hello. Welcome to the show.
Hi. I've never been live. Usually I get to cut out all my cuss words later.
No, you're
Yeah.
live now.
Yeah, you are live. You're definitely live
As you
now.
pan to Ryan with a shot of brandy, I'm assuming.
Whiskey from
Whiskey.
Kinnickinnick.
Ooh.
It's like a
So,
Say that
Kristi,
10 times
tell us
fast.
about Southeast Dreamin.
Tell us about Southeast Dreamin. So it's coming up soon, guys. What's happening? March 30th and 31st, we're going to get together. We're going to hackathon things. We're going to trailheadathon things.
You hackathon things?
We're going to try.
I mean,
hackathon, all the things.
all the things. Probably lightning things will happen. Chris Duarte is going to be there to
Oh,
Help.
no, you didn't.
inspire you to get points during the trailheadathon. And then we've got our opening reception. We have Matt Bertuzzi speaking about his new Lightning Sales Ops book. And then we've got a demo jam. And that's only Thursday. 2 days worth. Friday, we have Charlie Isaacs as our opening keynote. We've got, I want to say, like 25 community speakers, which will be amazing.
Is there going
And
to be any
then-
dev stuff?
Oh, of course. We wouldn't forget about you, Brian. You silly. Yeah, for sure. We definitely tried to get a balance of admin and dev, as well as a little bit of end user C-suite kind of, or just like general life skills. And we're gonna then wrap it up with Quiz Duarte talking about her life skills. And what else is I just get so excited talking about it. I love these community events. If anyone has not attended one, I mean, obviously I'm biased, like Come to Mind, it's the best, but I think they're great for what Dreamforce used to be back in the day. When it was smaller. Well, and just a lot less FOMO, right? And a lot of great conversations. So, we're going to have at least 2 of those people over there, maybe all 3 of them, having a
Probably
code
all
coverage table in our
I'll have to be there
collaboration
to restart
room.
the clusters,
Ooh,
just in
what-
case.
We're gonna even have some local SEs from Salesforce there talking about like ask a Salesforce person your question, go in the collaboration
Super
room,
exciting.
do a mini hack, hang out,
Is it
talk to
in the same
people.
place- Is it in the same place it was last year?
It is across the mall parking lot, basically, from where it was last year. So
Close.
we're going to be, close. We're going to be at the JW Buckhead. It's literally connected to the mall. So
Yeah.
you've got food and stuff there. And it's right off the MARTA line. So you don't even have to rent a car to get from the airport. You can just hop on the Magic Shuttle. It does this.
Man,
and then
I
you
don't
like
understand
walk
what your
out.
fingers are doing right now.
That's a MARTA train.
Is that what that
It looks
is?
like a train. I got that.
Is
No
that
problem.
what that
train.
is? It
That's the
doesn't-
international
The
symbol.
international
Train.
finger sign. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I didn't. Let's not talk.
That's a completely different sign.
Slippery slope, guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, southeastdreamin.com. You can find out all the details. We've got some great sponsors there, and we're gonna have a good time being Salesforce nerds. I have some cloud earrings on today, handmade
Oh,
by
cool.
Kelly Mantubo, who is speaking. I'll keep talking about this until you shut me up.
She's now a Wisconsinite, by the way. So
I know.
her. That's awesome.
Can you become a
Interesting.
Wisconsinite? Can you just become where you
They just
now
throw
live?
cheese curds at you,
Or
and
are
then you're
you-
in.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh yeah, sure. You betcha. I did.
Don't you know?
You bet you here's some
Don't
cheese,
you
eh?
know?
I
Cheese
relocated.
curds
Eh?
and beer.
The reason I ask about the location is completely not Salesforce related. It's because like across the street from the hotel where it was last time, there is a cupcake ATM.
We're even closer to it, I think. I didn't go
Oh
to
my
it,
God.
but it's in the mall, right? Atlanta?
There's one like
So-
on the street. It was like right outside. It was like right across because we kind of got kicked out of the room last year. We were a little too loud, so we were sitting on the balcony, and somebody says, "There's a cupcake ATM over there," and they went and got cupcakes from an ATM machine. How cool is that?
It'll be happening.
I
I'm
wanna
just
live
gonna
right
throw this
there.
out there. New York started that.
What? New York started that?
Yes.
New York.
Amen.
I'm
See,
just saying. Throwing that out there.
Don't go there again, Brian.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
we're not doing
How-
that.
real
We're
quick.
not gonna do
How do I,
45
like,
minutes of
Gift
bad
certificates to the
accents.
cupcake ATM.
All right. So real quick, Kristi, can you tell us the dates again for Southeast Dreamin? Where do we go to register? Where do we go to register for the hackathon?
And what kind of people are gonna be there doing code consult, free code consults?
Ooh.
Where we talk
Awesome
about your
people.
code.
Code nerds. March 30th and 31st. It is a Thursday and Friday. It is in Buckhead, Atlanta. We will have awesome anything developers and probably even Atlanta developer user group friends to talk about code with you
For those of you
and
who are
elaborate on stuff.
hearing it break up, she is talking about members of the developer user group from here in Atlanta are going to be there helping out with code coverage and volunteering. We're going to be doing the hackathon and a Trailhead Badgeathon. That's going to be
Yes.
March 30th and 31st, but you need to register for the hackathon when you register for your Southeast Dreamin badge. Sign up for your team. That's how you get involved with it. And we're going to have some really cool prizes.
You don't have to sign up for the code consult.
No, you
Correct.
can just show up with your.
You
Just
show
come
up for
see
that.
us. Just come
Absolutely.
see us.
All right. Well,
And it's
Kristi, thank
free.
you so much for talking to us today about Southeast Dreamin.
Bye, guys.
All right. bye.
Hi.
Have a good one, Kristi.
Hi.
Bye.
Oh, the joys of live and that internet just deciding to die at the last.
You know what I
minute.
realized that
That's Charlotte internet for you.
can't trust each other.
It's with the internet. It's Senator Ron Johnson's fault. Sorry.
No, but I mean, what I'm saying is we have no level of trust in the show. If you're trying to lie to me about who's going to be on the show, that's kind of, I don't know, immoral,
to be
unethical.
honest,
It's a lie by omission in reality.
to be
And I don't like
honest,
talking to you, so it's not really a lie by omission. It's just a lie by me not wanting to talk to you.
she sent us a message saying, "Hey, can I come talk about it? And we'll surprise Brian."
Yeah.
And I was like,
It's,
"Yes."
it's mostly Kristi's fault.
That's so funny because I had messaged her.
Yeah.
I said, hey, you know what would be great if you were on this week's episode?
Yeah, she told me. She was like, now BJ messaged me. What do I say? I said, I don't know. Think of something clever.
Well,
So moving on. That's not the only event coming up this year. Once again, we are going to have the Trailhead X in June. The 28th to 29th, San Francisco. I'm going to be there. There will not just be a great chance to network. You will have that opportunity. However, some of the sessions last year that were introduced are things that we're just now starting to see in Salesforce. So if you want to be able to have one more chance at seeing what's new, what's going to be happening, future facing, make sure you show up, sit in some of these sessions. You are definitely going to learn things that you hadn't even picked up on before. So just like most things, Salesforce, this is a really good event to come and learn about it. But unlike a lot of the community events, this is Salesforce sponsored. It's like a little mini Dreamforce. You're going to get a lot of really great sessions. You're going to see a lot of really cool things, and you're going to meet a lot of really fun people. So please,
Mini Dreamforce.
Go ahead, go to Trailhead X. It's developer.salesforce.com/TrailheadX, and you can right now go and put your email in there, and they will email you as soon as registration becomes available. So currently, I think they're doing a call for speakers. So if you want to speak, go and speak, or at least submit to speak, and otherwise put your email in there. Be ready for more.
cool.
And
There's
that's
also
gonna be
another
fun.
community event, Texas Dreamin' in May.
Yes, May 10th and 11th.
I believe it's 10th and 11th. Yes.
Yes,
But
and that's going to be in Houston.
I'm sure it's TexasDreamin.com, so you just check that out, or just Google
Houston?
Texas Dreamin'.
Houston.
Is it going to be
No.
in Houston?
Not Houston. It's Austin. It's in Austin.
Oh, it's in Austin. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
After that, you're going to have Midwest Dreamin' August 10th through the 11th. And of course, there are more events coming up. And if you go to SharonPicks.com, follow their blog, there's a good infographic there with all of the information as to a whole bunch of the events that they're going to be sponsoring, as well as ones I think that they may not be. So one of the other things, as we've been talking about recently, jobs. We have quite a few developer jobs that have been posted to us looking for you. So if you are a developer out there searching, we would love to connect you and send you to the right people in order to hopefully get you a position in one of those companies. Also, along with that, very shortly, if you follow us, we've been working with a staffing agency that we really, really trust.
They're good people.
They're fantastic people. In fact, we were just out talking to them again. And so if you follow our website, you go on our website, you should be seeing soon a info or a link there with their logo. It's the Intersect Group. And they have done a fantastic job with people I know that I'm close to and placing them. So we trust them personally. And we want to make sure that we extend that trust to our viewers and listeners as well. So system.debug.com, look for the Intersect Group link down there. Go ahead, click on it, and let them know where you found them, and they'll hook you up as best they can.
Yeah, as per your skill set.
Right.
We can get your foot in the door, but you got to, open it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. So moving forward, tonight we are going to be talking about Spring 17. So a lot of you probably attended events last week for the live viewing, which, a couple of unfortunate things, but at the same time, positive notes. Mark Benioff got on, started talking about plans for fiscal year 18. The live stream didn't happen, but it happened at 10 a.m. instead of the 1 p.m. time originally scheduled. So if you were a part of our user group, you know that we kind of had it on in the background, and we had a really, really good networking event. We listened to the stream and watched Mark Benioff give his presentation. But overall, I think it was a really great chance for the community together. It was the first time all four Salesforce user groups in Atlanta have actually got together and participated in one single event. And that was the Pardot user group, the Salesforce user group, the Women in Tech user group, and the developer user group. So it was a great event. We really enjoyed everybody that came out. All the people that I met for the first time, all the people that I met for, another time. It was
The billionth time.
Yeah, the billionth time.
How much crossover is there between those groups?
Not as much as I had thought.
Yeah, I was imagining there would probably be a good bit of crossover, but
Yeah.
no.
No, I mean, there was definitely some people, but I mean, it wasn't it wasn't a wedding. You didn't bride or groom. It was kind of a.
Oh yeah, I'm in this and that.
Right, exactly. So it was really a neat event, and
note to everyone out there: join a bunch of user groups.
Yep,
it's okay.
And we've talked about actually going ahead with this a couple of times a year, and I recommend it to anybody else who's a user group and involved with other user groups. I know in Madison, you have your dev group and the main user group, but getting together once or twice a year as a big event really helps bring a lot of those user groups together and merges skill sets where, a lot of developers are not going to go to the standard user group. They're going to look for a developer user group,
Yep.
Right.
So it's a really good time to, network a lot of people together and getting them together. And it's really just a thought, it doesn't take more than just a couple of user group leaders getting together and saying, hey, let's do this thing.
So
right?
what happened this spring 17 release?
Oh, well, for ISVs, it was a good release. I'll tell you that much.
Well, for us, I like how you throw us like first and foremost. By the way, for Map Anything,
because
it was
when
a fantastic release.
Well, I'm as
great.
an ISV developer, these are the things that I'm looking for. The ability to actually finally debug code in a user's org is kind of a cool feature.
Yeah, very cool feature.
That's big. I think we talked about that like a month ago when we did our debug thing, and I'm like, wouldn't it be great if? And now
they took it from us. Yeah,
they took
Oh,
it.
We're
From
gonna claim that.
Yeah.
Let's claim that.
We'll
I'm claiming it right now.
Guys, we got
They stole
2
that from us.
weeks.
They were like,
We got 2 weeks to release. We can do one more thing. What is it?
nobody listens to this podcast.
Fine.
We'll throw that in there. Nobody will ever know.
Oh.
Yes, the ISV. I thought that was cool, and I immediately thought of you guys. I'm like, hey, that's pretty sweet that we're gonna finally be able to do that.
That's like the first thing when you start working for an ISV. You're like, oh yeah, of course.
Great.
And you just get let down immediate. It's an immediate letdown. You're like, oh, how am I supposed to debug this now?
So how did you debug? Is that when you had to then go log into their org, or now you can log into their org and do the? I mean, how did you do that, or did you
Basically, you just try to recreate the issue in your org.
Yeah.
We would leave some information that we could then use to hopefully formulate kind of an idea of what's going wrong, and then go and take that back to one of our private developer orgs and retest it, or at least view what the data is doing, comparing it against reports and stuff like that. But this will be a lot easier because now we can embed system.debug codes, lines of code in it, and we can actually see that, because typically you can't when you're in an ISV.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Which is, I mean, again, it's an annoyance, but it's also probably good that you're not just blowing up, because how many times does a console.log or system.debug rather get into production?
Yeah, I actually had this conversation on Twitter with Corey here in Chicago about somebody put out I think Beth put out a poll of, what do you do with your system.debugs before you go to production? Do you delete them? Do you comment them out? Do you leave them there? Blah, blah, blah. And I was one of those people, like, I usually comment them out, because what I'm system.debugging is kind of like almost in a way troubleshooting documentation. If I have to go back to it, oh yeah, I was having problems here and here and here, and this is what I was doing, etc. But then somebody said, no, you're really supposed to delete them, because a lot of times that can cause you to not pass the security review when you submit things for the app exchange. So my question now becomes, do they allow system.debug to be in there? Because
that's a really good question. I'd like to actually find out more about that.
I can guarantee you that at the very least, they allow it commented out.
Okay.
But I can say with 90-ish% certainty that there are system.debugs that I've seen come back in production code, because like it's out there and you're like, oh, what the heck is wrong? And then you're looking in wherever and it's pop. Oh, what the heck? Where'd that come from? Oh, by the way, there's a system.debug in here somewhere.
Okay, I was just curious, because I didn't know if you then had to log in and like flip on a switch and say, this org ID I need to log, and then all of a sudden go and turn them all on.
I mean, you can use their internal logs for some things. You can use the console, like the JavaScript console, for some things. You can actually, one of the ways that I usually do it, instead of doing the system.debug, and this is by no means a replacement for the system.debug, but I'll go into the console, and I was working mostly in JavaScript. I would just like wholesale replace a class or a
Oh,
JavaScript file with like I'd rewrite and paste it into the console, hit run, or at least a function, boom, there it goes. Now I have my new function with some console logs in there, and I'm all good to go. But again, that does not replace the system.debug because you still can't do Apex stuff. You can black box it and say, oh yeah, I'm sending the Apex this, and it's coming back to display this. You can fiddle with it, but yeah,
okay. I was just
it's not
curious.
quite as good.
So
Yeah.
some of the other really cool things, because there was actually quite a few really, really neat
Yeah.
enhancements this time around. So avatars, pretty neat. The visual representation of a person. The force community route link, which is also kind of neat, the ability to use search engine optimization on records for your communities. One of the things, though, that's really cool for those of you who have been using the Lightning design system and constantly spinning up brand new orgs and throwing in the static resource. Ryan, that's right. One of the new visual force tags that's coming out is the Apex SLDS tag, and that's going to be including Lightning styles on the page with only the use of the one tag instead of having to go through static resources. So that is, I know that there's going to be a couple of developers who see this and say,
About
what?
time.
How was this not a thing previously? And then you're going to get a couple of developers a year from now who will say the same thing.
Yeah.
Because they never picked up on it. So I thought that was that's probably one of the coolest things for me right there. I know you have a favorite. What's your favorite?
Mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked the changes that they made to Lightning input, now accepting file type of file. That is great because now I can do my uploads and stuff. And it came about just in time for me to kind of prototype something for a client of mine. So that was really cool. I'm trying to remember. I thought there was a second one in our notes that I wrote down. I'm like, oh, but this one was cool too. And I will
your
let you know when I
data,
find
because
that.
you've been a big fan on the data services,
Yes,
right?
that was it. The Lightning
what I
data
thought.
service. Man, that's
You
cool.
missed it.
Like,
You wrote it down there. It's up there.
It was like the first one.
okay, I must have been scrolling past it. But yeah, the Lightning data service for me, I think is really cool because, and one thing I didn't know for quite some time, when you're writing Lightning components that are calling back to Apex, you have to do all your own field level security checks. And for the longest time, I thought that stuff was included. And so you need to check, is it updatable? Is it not? And then I started reading more. And I'm like, oh crap. Well, it's a good thing I haven't had to actually deploy any Lightning components in production for anybody yet, right? It's only been for me just for testing, but that's good to know because now the Lightning data service, though, will handle some of that for you. It will handle field level security and I think object access and things like that. So that's really awesome. And now I don't have to write the Apex for that either. So yeah, I'm excited about the data service. It's still in developer preview. Don't have an idea of when it's going to be GA, hopefully in the summer, but I don't know. I would expect that to sit out for a while till they have that a little more baked. But yeah, those two for me were great.
And this just brings up something I thought was really funny. But you have the create exception classes in the dev console.
Yeah.
Right. And we can get to that here in a second because it's really neat that you can actually create your own exception classes in general. But to actually have the ability to do it here in the dev console is kind of neat. But this morning, you were griping about the developer console on Twitter. I was cracking up because you were straight at what was it? Ask Salesforce. Why does your developer console?
Yeah, so there's a bug right now. It's a known issue, but for Macs, as far as I know, it might be for others. But for Mac on Chrome, when you're in the developer console and you're using the mouse wheel or anything to scroll, you'll get halfway down and all of a sudden it'll jump back up. So you think you're scrolling and then you're trying to find this code and then you're like, what the hell? That's not what? And then I keep scrolling. So then I tried moving it to the cursor, the cursor keys. And I'm scrolling down. If you hold it, it was doing the same thing. And I was like, I know there's 80 lines of code. Why am I keep going back to line 40 and then jumping back to the beginning and again? So apparently some people have said changing your zoom on and out inside of, how you can do command plus or command minus and command 0 to set your zoom and stuff on a Mac. Mm-hmm. Some people said toggling that worked for them. Well, that didn't work for me. So, it's just really frustrating when you're trying to get to a certain spot in your code. It's down on line 200, but it jumps back up to line 80. And you don't catch it the first 3 or 4 times. You're like, God, what's going on? And so, yeah.
All I could think is this is why developers drink.
All I could think is that this is why developers actually use different things besides the developer console.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
this
know-
was just going to be a quick little thing, So for quick type stuff, in and out, Dev Console, I used to be great, and now it's like, oh,
No
screw
mas.
that. Yeah, no, thank you.
My
So
whole
now
problem is how much it locks down the system, and the fact that you can't type apex : page block and have it autofill. For some odd reason, that will always return a double quote, no matter
I
what
get-
you do.
I get equals double quote and closing angle bracket or something, and yeah, I had that a couple times tonight too, or this morning too. I was just
Every time.
I gave up.
Every time.
I'm
for me.
done.
What
I'm
does it
done.
do?
It's just like it'll autofill everything for you just fine if you typed any other tag. But for some odd reason, if you do apex,
page
page
block section.
or
Yeah.
whatever, yeah, it just all of a sudden goes, no, I think what you mean is an equal symbol with a
With a
quote,
double quote
greater sign.
and an angle bracket.
Yeah, like
What? That doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, no, it's
Is that only in the developer console?
yes.
Yeah. There's a bug in their code somewhere where if you can just start to type it, it shows you the list of tags. It's
Yeah, the
highlighting the one you
autocompletes.
want. You click
Yep.
tab and you get equals quote bank or bracket. I'm like, what the actual heck is that? So yeah, but it's only for like Apex. I was using Apex page block section item. Now I don't know if it's Apex page block star or what, but yeah, that was frustrating. I had me and the dev console had words this morning.
So I want to know, and we want to know, what did you like about the Lightning release? What have you discovered? I know there's so much of it. We only read a small section of it because, well, tell you the truth, it's the developer console that matters to me, or not the developer console, but the developer stuff that I'm typically digging into the most. So I want to know about the admin stuff. I want to know about the dev stuff that you liked. I want to know about the dev stuff you didn't like. What did they change that is right now driving you absolutely crazy because you can't do your job anymore?
No, I actually don't have any major problems with anything that came out.
I was talking to viewers.
Oh, you were talking to the viewers. I thought you were talking to me.
Wow.
Yeah. Does anybody have
Yes.
any? Yeah, feel free to gripe and complain in the YouTube channel.
But
It's
also,
all
if you
about
have
me.
any,
But
You know
if you
that.
have something, Ryan, let me
yeah,
know.
if you had
Share.
something, let us
We're an
hear
inner
about it.
circle here.
No, what I thought was cool. I have absolutely zero
brotherhood,
experience in this.
some might
Absolutely
say.
zero experience. But the Lightning container tag, where it allows you to bring in apps that you may have written inside of AngularJS or React.js, and you throw that in a Lightning container tag, it allows you to basically, I guess, surface those kind of apps in your Salesforce environment. What I don't know is, does that give you then access to your objects somehow through the Lightning container, or I don't know enough about it because I've never done React or I've never done Angular or anything like that. I figure, why would I, now that Lightning components are here anyway? But that's just me.
That's interesting. I'd like to know how much control you have with that too.
Yeah, so it'd be really cool if anybody out there has a demo.
Yes, please share it with us.
Yeah.
Corey
send it in.
Cowgill, are you
Let's
out
check
there
it
anywhere? Sorry.
Also, remember, comment down in the links about things you want to hear more about. Let us know what you liked about the Lightning release or what you liked about Spring 17 release. Please, if you're looking for a job or you know of positions available, email us at systemdotdebug@gmail.com. That's systemdotdebug@gmail.com. Also, you can visit us on system.debug.com
Nailed it.
to view any of our previous podcasts, download our iTunes. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on Facebook, and you can follow us, as always, on Twitter at system.debug.
All the things.
That's right. James, I want to thank you so much for sitting here with us on the show today.
Thank you guys for having me here.
5 certifications. I am such a slacker. I have no
You'll get-
excuse.
You'll get there.
35 badges and 5 and 1
Is
certification.
35 good or is that bad?
35's good. Good for you, Ryan.
Yeah,
Oh,
good for you. Yeah, you know what he's saying.
Yeah, I know exactly what he's saying. You're the worst, Ryan. I can't believe you only have 35. I might even have 35. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't have very many more than that. So I think 35 is good.
Is it good? What's the total number? Let's go there.
Like 206.
Yeah, it's huge now.
Ooh, dude.
35 is real close.
I have this thing called consulting, and I have to be billable, and I just don't have that kind of time.
Just
That's not an excuse.
You're out of the club, man.
I dare you to send an SOW to Mark B.
Statement of
It's
work.
like,
Oh my goodness. Yeah, man. I think you're at a BDS club. I think you are out of BJ's club.
No, Ryan is still leagues ahead of my club. I'm trying
Is
to
he?
get into his club.
Oh, you're trying to
What
get
are
into
you-
his club?
Yeah.
Maybe you should have
What are you
less
talking
We can
badges.
talk about your club later, Ryan.
It's very exclusive. I
That's
have
why you
no
don't even
idea
know
what you're
about
talking
I
about.
don't know what he's talking about either.
All right, if you think that, I mean, like, I'm assuming you mean like my skill set or something. Which, I'm glad you think that. That means I'm doing something right. And wow, I'll have what you're having. But besides that, I mean, there are so many other people that just run circles around me, and like, I'm nothing, dude. I just get
Well,
the job
you're
done.
something to me, just like everybody out there who watches, listens, and tweets about us. Thank you, everybody who has so far given us feedback and helped define what our show is slowly becoming. We really owe it to all of you. Can't wait to see you at Southeast Dreamin. Our next episode will be April 3rd, I believe.
Sounds about.
It'll be
right.
April 3rd. And we're going to be doing some Alexa follow-up. So if you've got something you've done with Alexa and Salesforce in the next 2 weeks, please let us know about it so that we can possibly even debut it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Otherwise, we'll be just talking about our own stuff, just like usual, which is perfectly great. James, thank you so much once again. Have a great night. Everybody else, you guys all have a great night. Ryan, you have a great night.
You all have a great night.
We'll see you next time.
We'll
April
try.
3rd, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central.
See you guys
Alright.
there.
Southeast
See you
Dreamin.
later. All right. And now we're trying to bump out, aren't we?
Bye, everyone.
Damn guitar fingers. Bye.